Now, in the Sky interview, we focus on a movie which caused a great deal of controversy when it was about to go on release last year. Although it's been shown in other countries, in Britain it has only now been given a certificate and allowed to be screened in cinemas here. Based on the book by J.G. Ballard, this is Crash, a story of cars, accidents and sex. To find out more, we talk to its stars and to its writer and director, the man responsible for Videodrome, The Fly and Dead Ringers, David Cronenberg.
The whole essence of the book Crash was to take some phenomena which we would think perhaps we have a very steady fix on and show us that we do not have a steady fix on them at all, that in fact we barely understand them ourselves.
I think the film makes demands on people that some people are going to want to participate in and some people aren't, you know. The character of Ballard is this strangely, aggressively participatory observer. He really is sort of an observer, and yet breaking all the rules of an observer by being completely participatory in what's going on, and in many cases quite aggressive in that participation.
David had specific ideas of how he wanted us to flesh out these characters, but there was not a lot of dialogue, so I'm not really sure what that means. Certainly, I think David saw Catherine in me before I did.
It was clear that there was interpretations within the scenes that felt right and wrong, and the twain did not meet. I mean, it really was, when you were off base, you knew it immediately.
One of the problems was that, of course, there are action sequences in the movie. There's a lot of car stuff, and I mean, sex and cars are two of the most photographed things in the world. We wanted to take an approach that would be quite unique, but without getting arch about it, even though the car crashes are quite fast. You know, there is no slow motion in the way that Hollywood does car crashes. We have avoided. So the car crashes are fast, the people are slow motion. The film is funny. The book is not very funny. It's perhaps one of the major differences between the movie and the book.
Are these safe cars?
Yes, of course, they're very safe.
One of the early cards that someone filled out at one of the screenings that I had said, you know, a series of sex scenes is not a plot. And I kind of laughed to myself and said, well, why not? Why is a series of sex scenes not possibly a plot? It can be. And in fact, in the book it is, and in the movie it is as well. That's another formal problem, though, that the audience will have. They're not used to seeing sex used as a fully developed narrative and character element. They're used to seeing it as a kind of a titillating little modular piece that you could sort of take out of the movie and not change anything. And they have a tendency to kind of drum their fingers and kind of wait for the sex scene to be over so the movie will get going again.
Provocation. I mean, that's what these people in this film are looking for themselves, is provocation, you know, something that demands a reaction, you know, and demands involvement and participation and a connection. And the film seems to be invoking that as well, you know, and I like that.
You have to allow it to wash over you and to accept it and not fight it and not try to impose preconceived ideas on it. It's more difficult that way, but I also think it's more profitable that way. It's more enjoyable and more interesting and more evocative. So it's a challenge that I'm giving the audience, and you just hope that the audience will accept that challenge.